Welcome everyone to oldtacosandgeeks.com. Justin here, back with another mature audiences only video here. So we're gonna be talking about another H game that I found on Steam. That game is titled Academy Love Saga Tennis Angels X. As always, I give you a brief synopsis, completely spoiler free, before I talk about the gameplay, sound, and of course, sexy times or H scenes as we're called. So here's the brief synopsis. Become the coach of a prestigious sports academy's tennis club, filled with stunning girls who all dislike you. How will you handle it? Force them to love you, of course. Prepare for intense tennis matches with dynamic gameplay and powerful abilities. Prove your skills, earn their bodies. And about this game, this is a tennis game with dynamic, action-oriented gameplay, cute girls, and compete in the exciting matches with strategic positioning, master useful special skills, enjoy the hilarious story of a retired tennis coach regains his former glory. And that is pretty much the whole synopsis of this particular game, friends. And let's talk about it, folks. So here we go. So as the synopsis said, you're playing a tennis coach who basically had an accident and he is kind of not attractive anymore. He takes the job to coach these girls in this prestigious tennis club, and his name, as you can just see from the gameplay clip here, this man's name, I'm not going to say the word because I'm not sure how YouTube algorithm is with that particular word, but let's just say Esther, but put the mole with it beforehand and you'll get the guy's name. Immediately, I was just like, okay, if this is supposed to be a comedy, that ain't funny. That's a little off-putting. But what really drew me into the game was the trailer of the actual tennis. So the story is, I'm trying to just spoil for you, but the story is you're this coach, the girls don't like you, so you're going to try to make them like you one way or another, and his tactics are either through blackmail or promises, and he will have his way with all of them by any means necessary. And if you've seen my night shift nurses review, you know I do not like games where the male protagonist is doing things non-consensual science. And this unfortunately is one of those games where we have non-consensual science. So you already know where my review is going to go with that. Just see Night Shift Nurses if you want to see how I feel about these non-consensual science characters. So I will talk about the gameplay of the tennis because that, believe it or not, was the shocking part about it. Usually you don't see much effort in actual gameplay in games like this. It's more about the sexy times, which I'll get into, where I thought the tennis was actually pretty decent. It's not top spin level, but for what they were going for here, in terms of concept and story, the controls were pretty simple. You move your analog around, your left stick around, you press X to do your basic hits, and then throughout the progress of the actual campaign, you will unlock various skills. You get to level up your character, which girl you're choosing, and they'll learn new skills, and those skills will help you in the actual battle, which I thought worked very, very well. And that is something I was pleasantly surprised how fluid it was. It's not the best tennis simulator, but for a standard tennis game, I had fun with it. And there's also a little bit of elements in here where your special attack strips the girl's clothing, so eventually you or the girl that you're playing against, you will be basically playing tennis naked. And yes, they show everything. So I thought that was kind of cute, kind of hilarious for this type of H game here, and it was fun. I think for me, I had the most fun on the tennis aspect of it. It actually does get really challenging too, as you depending on what level you are on story, normal, or the hard level. The hard level is kind of brutal because the girls' skills are just you really have to be on your P's and Q's, know when to use your special skills, know which direction to hit, how hard to hit. Actually have this meter. You hold the X button, you get to hit hard, or you can like tap it and hit a little bit lighter. So they add a little strategic elements in there, and there is a level up system. Is the more matches you win, you'll level up. You get to choose your skills, and that will actually be more beneficial for you. Now, some of you are probably wondering, hey, Justin, this is an H game, so how's sexy times? Well, the sexy times in the campaign mode is not as interactive as until later on when you actually be able to spank them, control you when you have a little bit more control during the sexy times. But the sexy times is honestly it's nothing new under the sun that you haven't seen in H games compared to other H games that we review here. I would have to say this the sexy times wasn't as good as Summer Clover or another game that we played, Kaiju Princess 2, or how even Taiwan's Love Story had a little bit more better presentation of the sexy times. And once again, the sexy times in this game was non-consensual science. So I was like, there's literally one character who was a virgin, and you're doing this non-consensual science too. And you literally had, you know how they have the X-ray vision, what it looks like inside her. You see the blood, you see her screaming, you see her crying, and it's just like I can't, I just can't, I really can't. But overall, graphically it was actually pretty good too. Nice use of cell shaded graphics. I believe it was like the live 2D effect as well, and the anime sprites. The girls look good. The sexy time camera angles and the way it's presented looks good. But like I said, it's nothing that you haven't seen if you play a lot of H games. So it's nothing new under the sun. But it was impressive to look at, to say the least. I just wish it didn't contain a character whose name was Esther Mole, put the mole in front, and didn't have this non-consensual science in there, and then it takes you out. Yes, he's a pervert, but you can make a pervert without saying I'm just gonna take it by force and then take it by force, and you inserting to her virgin and she's freaking bleeding out. It's just like I don't know who makes these games, what type of fantasies this is. I know this is more on the BDSM type of spectrum, but it's just like, yeah, that one's really not for me. So I'm going to give my final rating here. I know some might not agree with me because I know this game got a lot of good reviews on Steam. A lot of people loved it. Me personally, it didn't really offer nothing new. I kind of like games like Kaiju Princess, Summer Clover a little bit better. Taiwan Story is pretty good. I'm gonna give this. I mean, it's only 8.99 at the moment, so to say wait for sale is kind of like no. I honestly, because the non-consensual science, which I do not like, and the way I don't know why you would name your character the first, the main character that name. Um, I'm gonna have to give this a skip it, guys. I just wasn't for me. The tennis, and it's a shame because the tennis aspect was pretty good. It's the fact that it was non-consensual science that just kind of threw me off and just like I can't. So this is Justin from otakusandgeeks.com for another edition of Mature Audiences Only. What did you think of Academy Love Saga Tennis Angels X combo? Let me know. Was this game? Did you like it? Was it for you? Let me know, and I will read your comments and try to reply to them when I get a chance. Later days, my friends, if I earned your subscription, please hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Peace, love, and happiness to you all. Later days.